will go to Cameron Davis and Esquire stunt double Porosaurus, and we'll go back down onto Miramar.
Thank you so much, guys, on the desk. Once again, we are here for match 14 out of 20. And adaptation is the rule of the day as these teams are having to find places to loot and fight for every point available to make that top 8.
Yeah, speaking of early game action, though, and even though you didn't say it, I'm going to bring it up because looks like WTSG, they're getting a little bit of taste of their own medicine because Victory 5 are trying to take shots while Galaxy was floating down. It's not on camera, but I was hoping there was a pan to it. But you can see him in the north, he got a vehicle and he drove down. No harm, no foul. It's fine. But there is still pressure back and forth between these two squads continuously. And another northern circle, not exactly on top of Optic like we saw last time we saw a plane path like this, but it is still up on the north. And so I think all these teams, like Na'Vi, Optic, and now Ghost, are really glad that they've pulled away from those southern spots because they have been getting no love for pretty much this entire event. It's been north, north, north.
Yeah, it's really strange. You don't usually see that many northern circles, even just in regular play. And the fact that we've gotten 2 today is definitely going to be a thorn in some teams' eyes, specifically M19. Although I say that, the last time we saw this northern circle a couple of games ago, M19 had the long rotate out of Los Leones and ended up making it all the way to the end there.
It's true. M19, they are a team that play it really, really slow, and even if they had a circle on like closer to them, I can't imagine that they would be too keen to try and go center the same way that a team like 17 would. And so if there is one team that they're like, you know, they're more comfortable with having this long rotation, it would be M19. So I guess good for them.
Yeah, you see Gen G doing their normal 3-1 split. I'm actually really surprised. One of these days, somebody is going to hot drop Gen G Simpson there in La Bendita in the crater. But for now, he is getting away with it and being all by himself as we see Hypoc and Hetror looting up in Optic's normal looting look. Well, not normal. They're all the way up in the north. That's where they've been forced to go after being scared away from El Pozo on the first day of play. Now they've been having to do this kind of split loot situation in the northwest, but it seems to be working out for them this time, especially today when we're seeing these weird northern circles.
Yeah, so they, like a lot of teams, have been adjusting their jobs based off of the plane route, and instead of having to take that long fall down the Los Higos, the amount of space available on Miramar means that it's really easy to just kind of have a second loot spot. And looking at how split they are, it just shows how weak of an area this is. But because of that weakness, very few other teams are around. However, you can see right here, JJ Leo is close by to Bahawaka. So if either of those players do overextend or just walks out into the field blindly, one of them could punish that. But that's only one player out of a total 4, and so even if that does happen, it's not the same thing as an entire squad being wiped out in the early game.
Yeah, we saw X-Quest already starting their rotation out of Minas Generalis. Tainted Mines still finishing up their looting in Monte Nuevo. They're going to have to get into circle here very soon as we see everybody starting to consider, at least, getting into vehicles and making their way. Knights have already sent Texas and Drayden to try to find a spot in the southern part of the new circle, and we see 17 already making their way towards the center. Divine feeling pretty good about things all the way in pretty much the dead center. They are going to have to get together, but Shade 1 taking some shots at Kippy. Kippy going to go ahead and manage to get away from that. So crisis avoided for now, but I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more of these shots coming out as these teams are starting to make their way into circle. Na'Vi a little bit split up right now, but they should get back together here pretty soon. The question is Vega going where they're wanting to go?
It is a little bit of a race. Yeah, it's a little bit of a race away from this compound where the lead cars of Vega are right next to Uba. It's also racing for the dead center, and Victory 5, they were close enough already, so they're going to grab this up, and just in time, because just over the ridge, you're going to see 47 Gaming crossing over onto them, but Uba as well, he's going to pull off. He didn't want to get potentially taken out by Vega, because the rest of his teammates were unable to assist. But look at this, 47 Gamer stopping just under the ridge, and looks like he is going to pull away. He recognized that Victory 5, or at least someone, is in this compound in just the nick of time, because Landrin has an angle onto him, trying to drive down the hill. Not too many shots land just yet, but he's going to try and go for the compound that has now been occupied by Vega.
Yeah, 17 Gamer trying to duck. Oh, they're going to get the shot on the tire, and that's going to be the UA or the buggy going down, and that's going to be a death. here eventually for 47 Gamer. Unfortunate for Team 17. He does have a couple of teammates that are coming in right behind him. Looks like they are pulling off, though, as we see a lot of teams heading towards the center of this circle. Divine actually looting up in La Cobreria, are pushing off a little bit more to the north here. We can see Max Eyes are landing all of those shots. Great recoil control. But now he's gone down himself from Shandian.
Yeah, he tried to use the smoke to get a safe loot of the body that he just took down, but overextended. Didn't realize that Victory 5 had an angle on him as well. So he's going to get dropped. Kemba, though, he's going to go for this. He laid out a smoke himself, trying to get over there on the bike. But this could go from bad to worse if Victory 5 can't land the shots. There's a kill on a Maxazor, and so he's not going to be able to get the revive on his teammate, but Kemba can at least pick up that loot. It's going to be okay, but the shots are still going to be ringing in. Kemba dropped down to 40, and it's not just him. There's shots coming in from multiple directions.
Yeah, those are going to
get away, though.
Those are going to be shots from Nikki from Divine. Heard the commotion started to come over this way. Take a little long range, taking a few long range chances here. Kemba should be able to heal up, though. Look at this shot from Shandian, though, in the smoke, managing to finish off Maxazor. That's unfortunate for the boys from Vega. The blue has started to collapse in. Everybody starting to make their way in. M19 taking a really long rotate. Oh, Bahawaka is going to go down to JJ Leo in transition. And this is bad news for Optic. They are in desperate need of points right now, be they from kills or placement or from anything. And then having to go through the rest of this game without one of their top fragging players is going to be rough.
Yeah, they did lose that player because of the entanglement between Optic and Divine that we were pointing out earlier this game. But on the flip side, Optic, the rest of them do have a decent spot in this circle. Their position allowed them to get a pretty central spot in the circle. Everyone else is going to be pretty much on the southern side because so little of the circle is actually playable. XQuest, I think that was a knock from, I can't exactly tell who it was.
Yeah, they ran over each other.
So it was from themselves. That's okay. Tainted Mines versus Knights. Once again, it's going to be Juxi with the UMP knock onto Kramer. I don't know if anyone else from Knights is going to be in a position to come back onto this.
No, Knights had already taken off. Kramer was the tail end of that convoy. Tainted Mines picking up the kill, but now you can see Navi now pushed into the compound occupied by 17. 17 has a little bit of support off to his northwest from Fiend, but it looks like Fiend might be just trying to hightail it out of there. 17, the IGL for this squad, might have told them to just leave him for now. He's going to try to get out of this himself.
Currently looks like he's just trying to bunker down. Hopes he doesn't get discovered by Na'Vi. And it looks like Na'Vi earlier was a little bit distracted by XQuest. But let's not get distracted ourselves with Victory 5. They're going to be spotting out WTSG coming in onto a compound. WTSG consistently unable to find good consistency in these games. The window for them to be able to turn this event around is slowly closing, and so they need to make sure that they don't get taken out, but they're able to find a secure spot in a relatively central position, so it's a decent start for now. 17 able to make his way outside of the barn, though, peeking around the side, a little bit of aggressive of a peek,
he's got
and
backup.
He does have backup. That's the plus side. He's got his two remaining members coming up, just as Method do, coming up against on this rotation against Tainted Mines. Benshu and Subslayer on their own retreat away from this. Back onto Secret. They're going to be able to get in the car. 17, he's holding off to allow his teammates to bound their way through onto Fiend's position, and they're going to push north. They need to watch out. They're not going too far north. The XQuest and HC needs to watch out. Make sure he lands those shots onto Benshu as he tries to go up that hill. Very difficult maneuvers on a vehicle to be off of a road. Very few of these vehicles actually get high enough speeds on the mountain to be able to traverse correctly.
Yeah, and this is something we're seeing a lot of in these transitions, at least on Miramar especially. Teams are not afraid to stop down and engage in fights, even with the blue pushing down their necks. They want to get these kill points as much as they can. If they can land that random headshot, that's going to be all the better. We see M19 now making their way in. Where are they? They are just to the west of El Pozo.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, they have a lot of teams right nearby. They have Method just off to their west. You see Chris and Aitzzy taking a little bit different path, but I don't think they have to worry about each other stopping down just yet. But no, Secret's going to see XQuest trying to run into this compound. The shots are going to come down, but they're not going to be enough. They're not going to find home on Cobra. Vehicle's damaged a little bit. Look at AK, though. AK is trying to find a little line of sight here to maybe return fire.
So I don't know if this was XQuest, if they went here on purpose or the aggression by Secret forced them there, but XQuest have now gotten themselves trapped inside the Oasis. It's a very difficult position to play around. It's a good spot to hide out for now, but trying to exit it may not be that successful. What is successful is Sub-Slayer getting taken down and finally killed by Bachelin. There's a really big, intense entanglement on the southwestern side between M19, Tainted Mines, as well as Method. Bachelin trying to go for more onto Tainted Mines, but XQuest for Method is fighting back, trying to get as much damage as they can, because Method is another one of those teams that are trying to fight back into the top 8. Constantine trying to rotate through, Molman not with this line of sight onto him to be able to punish that. It looks like all these teams are able to make their way in. It's just Juxi from Tainted Mines who had to stop and allow Method and M19 through into the circle before he could continue his rotate, but it looks like he's going to be able to finish that unfettered.
Look how empty the southern part of this new circle is. Everybody trying to dive center, but now we're going to see Na'Vi make a little long rotation around. Knights still trying to find a place to call home. They do have Crate landing right on top of them. They should have plenty of time to loot this up. Hopefully they get something nice out of this. We've been seeing a lot of Augs, a lot of Grozas, and yep, it's going to be another Groza and a 4X. But they should enjoy that level 3 come up for whoever their sniper may be.
That's true. About how the weaponry from these crates has always been close range stuff. We have very few long range weapons. We've seen a Mark 14 every once in a while, but I don't know. I haven't really been able to recognize if we've gotten more than maybe one AWM. And on a map like Miramar, AWMs can be quite impactful.
Oh, snipers. Just snipers in general are just
I
huge.
love this by Na'Vi. Sorry to cut you off. They're a team that really like to fight, like to play on foot, but they are taking this opportunity with the circle, with how the southern side is so empty, and they had an easy path into it, and so they are going straight in to pick up another strong spot and allowing everyone else. It's a bit defensive of a decision, but they are allowing everyone else in the north to deal with each other. They want none of that, and they will just be here in the late game to clean up the scraps.
The shots coming out from Tainted Mines on a passing Texas. Nothing going to find home. But now we have Ghost crashing into XQuest. We have AK and Cobra. Z9 Max is just off to the side. Aladdin still hasn't gotten out of the car yet. Balak playing the wall right now. McCoy has been taken very low. They're going to try to play this, try to give a little bit of cover fire. There's Balak pushes off in the bike, so he should be safe for now, but Cobra still taking the shots at Balak as he rides away. Anything gonna land? No, not just yet. So Ghost gonna have to find a new home. They've been forced back out of the circle. Gen G, I'm getting used to seeing these guys here.
Yeah, I don't think they ever actually made their way into the first circle. They were out in the blue around Cruz de Val and Torre Ahumada.
Yeah, they rotated all the way up north and then turned around when they saw the circle.
Yeah, but no, with this hardship, this is exactly what you want to do, and they're going to be coming in just like Na'Vi making that decision, and Method as well, coming into a relatively empty part of the map, and so we could see another top finish by Gen G. Moleman running himself over is not what I like to see, but neither do you like to see Valiate getting killed by Tainted Mines. Tainted Mines just taking kills left and right here.
And that's now 2 down for Optic. They have 2 left remaining. Molman should get rezzed here by Rafi. It looks like Rafi's going to go provide his teammate a little bit of support here.
No vehicle.
Well, yeah, their SUV has now flipped, so that's an unfortunate spot. But Na'Vi, I love this positioning from them on the top of the hill. We know how much they like to play from spots where they can get a lot of vision. They can land a lot of shots onto passing squads. But 17 is going to be providing a little bit of pressure right now. MVP in the same type of position here. Look at those SLRs out, ready to scrap.
They've been punished a bit today so far because of being forced into rotations. They've gotten out late. Their performance hasn't been up to their first spot position would lead you to think, but hopefully this game for them, they're pretty center right now. They're actually almost dead center. It's right in between them and Victory 5 that's probably dead center of this circle. And so maybe depending on where the next circles go, they can actually use this and to gather even more points to sling themselves back ahead because the lead that they have has slowly been diminishing. I'm pretty sure they're still second. Or, I mean, first place, they are, but it's not by too many points.
Well, that's the thing, is that MVP, they haven't been, it hasn't been sexy. The way they've been getting points hasn't been, the high kill, first place finishes, but they've just been so damn consistent throughout this whole entire tournament. They're always, in that top 5 or in, very close. You rarely see them go out in the bottom 8 of anything. And it's something that I've just come to really respect about the way these Korean teams are playing, is that they're being very measured in their aggression. They're not taking fights unless they are 100% sure that they can win them, and that they can, maintain as many players alive as possible.
Ooh, a fight breaking out on the north side between the Knights and Tainted Mines. Is going to be a trade back and forth, it seems. Texas gets finished off, and it's Jukesy down from Tainted Mines, who's going to need to get a revive, but the advantage is definitely in the way of Tainted Mines even after that kill, because Knights are having to run out in the blue. Knights, we got Voxic, we got Drayden up. I think those are the only 2 left. It is indeed, and they're able to make their way inside, but again, line of sight from Tainted Mines, going for the revive on their teammate well, but Drayden and Voxic are forced to prone down.
Knights have just been having the worst luck today in their transitions, especially on this northern part of Miramar. They just end up losing guys left and right, and for whatever reason, they just can't seem to get to a late game with all 4 up today. Something that they're going to have to look at going forward.
Well, for this next circle, they are going to have to transition through La Cabrera, which it's a large city, which means that there's a lot of cover in there to utilize. The problem is they're not going to have a lot of map control when they come out the other end, so we'll see what happens once they get inside the circle. And oh, is this a fall death? That's unfortunate. No, it's not a death, but okay, he's getting shot at though.
Oh, he was running. Oh, that's a feels bad, man.
That's a pretty feels bad.
Yeah, I don't like to see that. Car flipping, getting stuck in a rock, and then you just get mowed down. So check shooter. It looks like actually 3 members of Secret still up. So unfortunately, 17 going down, but they still have 3 alive as they try to make their way to the skin. Ooh, M19 and Method coming onto each other yet again. And Raffy's going to win that firefight, but he's going to have to duck down now as he's getting third-partied.
Yeah, MVP.
Lead by MVP, yeah.
Yep, the high ground in the dead center of this circle have line of sight onto a lot of people. You can actually see them shooting at tons of different directions. Not just Method and MVP, but also up to the north on WTSG. But X-Chris, his attention is centered on M19, who after that knock on their teammate has been forced away back into the fields of Crater Fields.
Yeah, M19 just going to leave their fallen teammate there. Not much they can do to get the res off there. Divine still center circle, still got 4 up. As Tainted Mines, the last 3 remaining players for them are going to try to transition in, but Vega making it very difficult. Secret making it difficult as well. So this is just Miramar. What else can you say about Miramar? Just 4 teams fighting on each other all at the same time. You have no idea what to do. The shots are coming from everywhere. You have to just throw your smokes and pray.
Yeah, it looks like Vega did not get the memo that they were supposed to help Secret take out Tainted Mines. Because look, they actually started shooting at Secret, which allowed Tainted Mines in. They were able to keep all 3 members inside to get inside the circle, and that's actually really bad for Secret, because Secret now have to run directly in between Vega and Tainted Mines. Fiend has been knocked. It's just Smitty and Check Shooter left, and there's no way they're going to get a revive on that because the blue is already halfway closed. Looking at Gen G climbing up from the south. They've gotten dangerously close to Team 17, and Team 17, I don't know if they're aware of Gen G's existence because their arrows on the minimap are pointing in all different directions. Yeah,
there's a big old rock in between both of those teams there. Not close enough really to hear the footsteps of each other, but once the shots start coming out, they're going to become quickly aware of each other. But right now, they are playing it a little bit quiet. Speaking of playing it quiet, X-Quest just camping. I mean, what else can you say? They're squatting. They're looking around. I think they know that Divine might be there, but they're not interested in taking any fights for right now. They're just playing it cool, waiting to see where this next circle goes.
Team 17, good vision for them for everywhere but the south where Gen G are located. They may even be able to find an angle onto Na'Vi, depending on where Na'Vi's players reach out on, if they want to leave their compound too much or not. Method now also with a pretty central spot. You can see the minimap as it looks like right now. Tainted Mines in the top right, shooting up on the 2 remaining players of Secret. And look at that hard shift up towards the north, away from Method, away from 17, away from Gen G. But what's not going away are bullets away from Check Shooter's face, because Benshu is doing a decent job landing a bunch of them, putting a lot of pressure onto Team Secret. Only 2 left, and they have gotten to circle number 3, but just barely, and they still need to work their way into circle 4. It is not far from them, but the path in may not be safe because they are so close to Vega, WTSG, as well as Tainted Mines.
This new circle is going to prove whether or not MVP can really stand up to some serious pressure, because they have one of the strongest spots in this new circle, and they are already getting pushed by Method here. They can expect to get pushed by 17 or Gen G here and eventually, but that high ground that they have on the top of that mountain in the south part of that circle is so strong right now.
X-Quest, they need to worry about getting pushed by Optic, but Tainted Mines also still stuck in this firefight with Secret. You can see Extreme 2G swung up way far west of them, but a fight has also broken out between Gen G and Team 17. Pulling back onto the northern part of the map, X-Quest and Optic in a bit of a standoff. X-Quest has pulled away a little bit, try to get further inside the circle, but not so far. They run into Knights, but all these players need to worry about M19 coming up onto the north. A knock is being picked up by Team 17, so I think they are going to stay, as I believe it's only 3 of them left, and Gen G, they're circumventing them. Able to make their way in, but here are MVP in their way to stop them.
Yeah, Gen G tried to make that rotation through the crater, but MVP very aware. They hear the vehicles coming through. They take the shots, but now we have Navi getting shot down by 17. MVP also holding down Pain G, taking down Chalater. So this is bad news for Gen G. They're in a very tough spot, and they have to make their way into circle here still.
Navi making their own rotation. It's getting punished by Victory 5. A lot of shots onto them. Mubak gets taken down actually by Ghost. And WTSG, though, they are lighting up the leaderboard right now. Or rather, the kill feed, getting a bunch of knocks and a couple of kills for themselves as well.
Yeah, I believe Ghost was trying to make their way into the circle, but WTSG got in their way. Right now, Drainus finding himself between Victory 5 and MVP is going to go down. Victory 5, I think they are in circle. They are holding Turtle at bay. You can see the shots coming through. McCoy is going to try to make his way up this hill. I don't believe Shox has vision of him just yet. He's going to try to get the pick onto Turtle here. McCoy could find an angle here. It looks like he's just going to try to rotate around very long and just try to stay alive here for Ghost.
Yeah, that's the goal for Ghost. This is definitely not a game that they wanted to follow up their previous 20-kill win with, but if they can climb up at least into the top 8, shouldn't be too upset because they've been having to run into teams back and forth. Secret, though, they're not going to get 16th this game, but with Check Shooter, the last player out in the blue, very likely to get 15th. They've been stuck out there for the past couple of minutes. But Method, though, you're talking about MVP in the center of the circle with a strong spot, actually getting punched because it's not just a kill, it's also a full down. McCoy back on Ghost. Pushing up close to Team 17, spots them, gets the spray down, gets the first knock, tries to go for the second, but immediately traded out. He's going to get dropped along with Turtle, and Secret was eliminated immediately before them in 15th, but Ghost still go out in 14th.
Really unfortunate follow-up to that high kill win that they had last game. That is the way the cookie crumbles here on Miramar. You never know what you're going to get with these transitions. Gen G still make their way into this next circle, which has popped. Low Cabrera is still in on the southern side. 17 under some serious fire right now from Victory 5.
Yeah, it's just show left. It's WTSG, Victory 5, both taking shots at them, and the remaining player is crawling closer and closer to Team MVP. So I don't know how much of an option, how many options Show really has in this situation. He's got to wait for Victory 5 and MVP to push into the circle, but he's the one closest to the blue. So when that blue starts to close in less than 40 seconds, he's going to be pushed out. That being said, La Carrera, opposite side. These players, they're in a city, so they could fight if they want to, but they also could just chill out in their buildings. M19, they don't want to chill out because they can't. They have to cross this road to get inside the circle, and Divine, X-Quest are both allowing them access into this gas station.
Cannot believe that M19 is allowed to cross this street for free. Oh, well, there you go. Divine Nicky finally turning his attention. He's going to get the down on Example. Example in a... That's not a smoke. Elite player...
Yeah, I don't think that was intentional. Example, that, oh, wait, here are the follow-up nades.
Oh, and that's going to be it for Example. So Elite player and Constantine still alive. Last 2 remaining players for M19, but now Divine fully aware of where they are. But Divine themselves are very split up here. You have Knights playing it very quiet. The last 2 remaining players have managed to get in. X-Quest as well. Tainted Mines coming across Kippy the Slayer and Vega. That's going to be 2 down for Vega now. Vampire gained the last remaining member up. He's going to try to hop on the bike and get out of dodge. He's about half health. Will he make it away?
for
I
now.
guess we'll find out.
But he's bombing directly
Tune
into La
in
Cabrera.
next
He's
time.
about to drive just past Divine, and JJ Leo knows he's there. Wasn't able to find the angle, but Nicky could get the spray down, and he does. It's going to be Vega eliminated in 12th place. Tainted Mines, though, the team that had the initial engagement on Vega, still need to push into the circle themselves.
Yeah, Divine Gaming picking up 3 kills now so far. They've all pretty much been just handed to them. But they have this great circle positioning. They are our last place team, but they can make things happen if they get this circle. If they have the lines of sight if they can take these fights. But right now, we got to be concerned with the south part of this circle where we have Method, MVP, Victory 5, remaining players from Gen G. Welcome to South George might be getting involved in this as well.
Yeah, this is a big clump up of teams here. Victory 5 caught between potentially 2 squads. MVP are down the low ground, though, and so Victory 5 could isolate themselves in the fight against Method. A fight is continuing to break out here in the northern city.
Nothing is happening in
Yeah,
this city.
nothing's really happening. Hypoc does get finished off. Wicked does die to the blue down in the south. That's going to be Gen G out in 11th. Another unfortunate follow-up to a good game previously, but right now, Method, they're going to be pushing up this hill, potentially onto Victory 5. They do have Rafferty sent up towards a more central area of the circle to overlook everything else, but it's going to be TSG fighting off against Tainted Mines, actually. They still need to get into the circle themselves, and they do get removed, but immediately after, we have Divine chiming in to steal the kill of Gaxi.
Yeah, Method's still having to figure out how they want to approach this fight with Victory 5.
Look at this
Victory
circle.
5 has the height advantage here. Oh no, that circle's disgusting. Everybody's going to have to come out of La Cabrera. But
Watch the
with a
nades.
grenade. Oh, what a good nade from 8C. Actually, that wasn't even the nade that killed him. Wow. Well, that was quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Systematically dismantling Victory 5, peak after peak after peak. 8C doing a lot of work there with some support from his teammates, and they get all of that loot, and that circle is very beneficial to them. They just need to worry about MVP, and there's also WTSG swinging down clockwise against them. These players up in the city, though, they need to worry about leaving because they all have to exit. There's not a single building on your screen right now that is inside the circle, and Divine able to get so close, as well as XQuest is going to deal a lot of damage to the Knights and M19, but Knights, Voxic with a down and a kill onto Elite player. Second peek comes in for Constantine, trying to find the angle. Gonna swing back to the other side, just baiting
What is he
Voxic.
doing here? That's an interesting strategy there by Constantine. Just run past, run past, run past. Never shoot, but just run past and see what happens. Z9 Max also going to go down to Drayden as well. So XQuest is getting involved in this fight. MVP now getting pushed by Welcome to South George. They have a very nice position at the top of this compound, but they are Welcome South George is having to push uphill. All of these guys have to get past this street here.
Hetra gets eliminated, able to make his way inside from the blue, but immediately taken out by XQuest. AK watching the flank. Good support for his team, and now he's going to put his focus back onto the center of the city. It's going to be nice, and M19 just Constantine left. He jumps up, Constantine gets a spray down, gets the knock, doesn't want to commit here, though. Repeats on the second side, and almost gets the kill onto Knights, but is going to get taken out by Voxic, who gets another kill onto AK, actually finishes that one up. Cobra answers back with the knock onto Drayden. It's just Voxic left for the Knights. But while this is action is happening, Divine has been sitting pretty, all four still alive, waiting for all these other teams to take care of each other, and they can just clean up the rest before they push into the circle themselves.
The problem is, look at this wall that's separating them. They all have to make their way past this wall to get across the street, so they all have to push through Divine. Divine can just stay here and pick up kills as they have to run this way. Nicky, they've already picked up 6 so far. There's still a couple more that might be coming their way. Meanwhile, you can see in the bottom of your screen, MVP still holding court at the top of the hillside. Cobra is going to try to make his way in, but he is eating so much blue damage right now. It's ticking so fast. He's the last remaining player left. I'm not sure if Divine has vision on him. He might just end up going down to blue here.
Yeah, because Divine are also going to be distracted because Method, in their position, have good sightlines onto them. Method is a very nice split. 2 of them focused on the city, 2 of them focused onto MVP small compound, and they actually got a knock. It was Raffi, I believe, onto one member of WTSG. Their revive did come through for that, so WTSG are still going to have 3. But not much map control to them. The next circle has revealed itself to be still somewhat center. But moment with yet another knock onto Jet. A smoke's going to come out from Divine to get the revive, but they are stuck in this corner. They need to get some knocks for themselves, and they better hope that they have the smokes to push across that road to get into the circle, or the blue is going to take care of them the way that it is a process of taking care of Cobra, who is still alive, but he's forced to run around and try and find some first aid kit, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, MVP still has to move down as well. You can see Alpaca is just lying prone right now, waiting for the eventual push from Chris and 8C. Here it comes. Oh, they don't have the shot. They don't have the vision just yet.
They got the nades,
are
though.
coming out. I don't think they know exactly where Alpaca is. Yeah, the grenades are going to go past him. They're
Trying
going
to
to
go
go
for
right on the Siege, and that's going to be it for Siege. Zero Tan now having to work his way up as well. Ooh, Alpaca got a vision of AC's head just for a second there. Oh, Chris is going to go down. Great shots from Zero Tan. The grenade's going to come out to try to finish.
See if he's going to make it far or not, but that's a good one for Alpaca. Wow. It was the double nade that came through that finished off the kill against Chris, as well as knocked 8Z, and the second one goes just too far, but still causes bleed out to go even smaller, and the two remaining players of Method are too far away to really come in and assist. They do find a crate for themselves, and they're dead center, but they need to make sure that they haven't overextended themselves to find. Nicky's the only one left standing, having to run through, proning down to try and heal up. Rafi gets another knock onto Miruku as well, but Larson's trying to trade back with longer range. Alpaca from MVP slowly crawling in. They're hoping that Method have been distracted by teams to the north, and Rafi has been finished off. It's just Moleman left in the dead center, fighting against Nicky. Ooh. And it's actually going to be Nicky who finds the final shot against that. So Method with a good position in the circle end up going out in fourth, leaving Nicky alive, while WTSG and MVP are stuck, slowly crawling in, completely unaware of how much control any other team currently has here.
This 3v3v1 MVP does manage to get the res onto their fallen teammate, bringing them back up to a three-man squad. Right now, I'm not sure if they know exactly where Nicky is. They just heard the shots come out, but he has made his way around. He does have a nice little ledge to work with here, but MVP, look at this ridge line that they have. They have so much cover. They can afford to just peek up. I think Larson might have an idea of where they might be. You can see the grenades getting cooked. It's coming out. Is it going to land? Oh, that's a good nade. It takes them down to less than half health. They're going to have to run away from this one.
Gonna have to try and heal up, and this next circle has revealed itself and given some pretty good advantage to Nicky. That is if MVP and WTSG can in fact fight it out. If MVP continue to rotate this way away from the European team, they could actually just end up smashing Nicky between two three-man squads.
Nicky doesn't even have to peek this. He can just hang out behind this rock and be safe for right now. Welcome to South George. Although it looks like they might have vision on this rock. They might think that that rock looks pretty good.
So it does.
They might, depending on how this works out, they might push this.
That's a bust. That's a bust. Rarely do you see those, but the one upside of that slow-moving vehicle is the fact that it is very good mobile, depending on the definition of mobile, cover. And it looks like both WTSG and MVP are rotating away from their initial point of contact, wanting to try and clear out the rest and get into the circle first because the blue has started to close. It's going to be done in about 50 minutes before it does go back dead center. At WTSG, they have a straight line onto the dead center of this. Nicky needs to watch out because he spots MVP, gets it. Oh, doesn't actually get the knock.
No, that rock is dead.
Peeks the wrong way, actually leans the wrong way, and it's going to be 0-10 with the final kill onto Divine, who get a nice third place finish for them. It's going to be a 3 versus 3 MVP versus WTSG. Both teams are in the circle, but WTSG with the more central spot. However, do they have the angles and do they have the terrain to block the line of sight? Larson,
nice shot.
though, he has his own line of sight onto 0-10.
And that's the flank player for MVP. Alpaca's going to try to go back. Maybe... there's no way he's going for the res here, right?
He may want to. Siege is holding down, and he gets one knock, immediately traded out by Bart. But Larson peeking over the top. Alpaca, no clue that Larson was pushing forward. And it's going to be WTSG with finally a win under their belt with a nice average 11 kills.
Average 11 kill win for WTSG. They played that about as well as they possibly hoped for. It was actually really well played from them because MVP with that height advantage, actually, you feel like they had the advantage through that fight, but somehow, welcome to South George, finding the line of sight to hide behind, using all the ridge lines that they had, using the terrain, managing to stay alive and coming through with the win.
Yeah, really, I think what gave WTSG the advantage in that fight is that when they both decided to rotate away, WTSG had from the initial point of contact or outside of the circle, WTSG had a faster rotate inside the circle and able to set up shop in the dead center. And so by the time MVP arrived, they didn't have as much information on their side of where the opposing team was, while WTSG, they had already just finished setting up shop and kind of were able to control their angles with each other. You saw at the very end, Alpaca, no clue that Larson was that close to him. Yeah. In fact, there could have been a little bit of miscomms and just some confusion when Larson got that initial kill. He may not have even known what angle Larson had onto his teammate.
Yeah. And once again, MVP, back in the top 2,
Yeah.
in the top 5 yet again, still building that lead.